You will be judged in 130 milliseconds when you meet someone for the first time, and this will make up the majority of their first impression of you. So tell me, are you putting your best foot forward? Because at 18, I certainly wasn't. I was giving off the impression of a loser, and that's the reception that I got back. Since then, I put in effort to change that, and now I get a very different kind of reception. The halo effect, it's real, and you can either choose to fight that, or you can follow these tips that myself, my friends, my clients have all followed to start to embrace the fact that if you can present yourself in a better way, your life will only change for the better. Tip number 1, and that's accessories. They are the easiest way to stand out and have the highest return on investment. I've had this ring since I was about 20, and I think it cost me maybe 10 to 15 pounds. And since then, I've loved it. I've worn it all the time, and people constantly bring it up. They think it's unique and novel because not many people actually try and stand out. Not many people will wear accessories. So if you can find yourself just a basic bracelet, a ring, a necklace, just something to give your outfit that extra edge, because it will elevate how people see you to just a whole other level. Tip number 2, match to your complexion. You might have noticed I wear a lot of dark clothing, and there's a reason for that. It's because I'm super pasty and super light skinned. So if I choose to wear really bright, loud clothing, I just get washed out. There's no contrast to my outfits, and I just look like a homogeneous blob, because the human eye is drawn to contrast. It causes that differentiating factor that we love. When it comes to styling yourself, contrast is king. So if you've got a darker, warmer complexion, you want to wear light clothes. And if you're like me, and you're really pasty, and you don't do well in the sun, then dark clothes are the way to go. Tip number 3, and this one's easy, is grow a beard. And I know you're gonna throw every excuse out that you've tried it, it looked patchy, it didn't look very good, all these things. Yeah, fine. I've gone through this with multiple people now that they will complain, say that their beard isn't gonna be very good, they've tried it, and what happens is they push through that barrier of resistance, and then it actually starts to look pretty good, because any beard is actually kind of better than no beard. I'm sorry to say it, but it's just such an easy indicator of masculinity that it always looks good. It always just gives off a more authoritative impression, and once again adds that contrast to your face because you have these dark patches on it. I know you might feel reluctant if you've not grown one before. Just stick with it, because I guarantee it's worth the wait. The next tip, always pick fit over style. I don't care if you've got the nicest, most stylish of jackets. If it's too big for you, all it will look like is that you are wearing your older siblings' clothes and their hand-me-downs. You won't look good in this. And the reverse is also true. If you're wandering around in clothes that are way too tight for you, you just look awful. So when you're trying to find a new item, always prioritize the fit of the item. Find something that tapers to you, that complements your physique. That can be baggy. I'm not saying that you have to wear everything that's tight fitted. Sometimes baggy is definitely the way to go, but there's a way to do that so it doesn't look like you're just drowning in someone else's clothes and you don't know how to pick your own. Always be careful to prioritize fit over style. And as a little bonus, you can't really go wrong with a muscle fit black tee. The next tip, grow out your hair. Stop asking your hairdresser to perform miracles because you're turning up with hair that's this long and asking for this outlandish style that is never going to happen. You need to treat a hairdresser like a sculptor and take way more than you need and a big block so they can chisel down to something that actually suits your face and suits your style. I failed at this so much. People used to actually make jokes at how bad my hair was, and that was just because I kept taking that traditional look where you just shave the sides, keep it short on top, and it did not look good. And it took me finally going to a hairdresser that knew what he was talking about, that managed to convince me that what I needed to do was go away for like 3 months, just grow my hair, and then come back, and he'll be able to do something with it. And since then, it's been the best piece of advice, because that's what I advise everyone else to do. That you just need to try and see what it's like when you grow it out a little bit, and then you can sculpt it into something really, really cool. So break the mold. Don't just go for the standard trim sides that everyone else has. Grow it out a little bit, spend a little bit more, go to a hairdresser that actually knows what he's talking about. Okay, next tip. This one isn't exactly style related, but it has to be on here. But it has to be on here. I keep fucking that up, but it does have to be on here. And that is, be in shape. Attraction markers are largely just an indicator of health. So if you can be in shape, then you're kind of playing on easy mode, because most things will probably look alright on you. Your skin will start to improve as well. Your hair will start to look better. If you can be in shape and if you can be a healthy person, that's what all girls look for. It's scientifically proven that the main metric girls will look for is a shoulder to waist ratio. So if you can work on that, happy days. You've just made your life so much easier. The next tip, get rid of branded items. You don't see David Beckham or Kanye West wearing any brands that are not their own. Stop being someone else's marketing tool. It doesn't look good. It's just you indicating to the world that you can't really dress yourself. So all I'm gonna do is try and attach my value to something external because maybe you think it's expensive. It's just a tragic way to really express yourself to the world. You should be your own marketing tool. You shouldn't be someone else's with just massive logos blazing across your chest. It just looks childish. It means you've not grown into a mature level to be able to dress yourself properly. My final tip, develop your own look. People believe the hyper-successful CEO, he wears the same items every day just to be efficient. And whilst it is that, it also creates a brand. If you think of Steve Jobs, he wore the black elegant turtleneck because he wanted to reflect that's who he was, and he was the brand ambassador for Apple. What are you trying to express? Are you trying to give off the image of someone who's fun, intelligent, sporty? Well, if you can pick something that you want to show to the world and you dress consistent with that, people will start to recognize you for it. And they actually quite like that. We're becoming more averse to strangers by the day. So make it easier for yourself and give your appearance an identity that people can hang on to, so you're not a complete stranger. I've genuinely had people come up to me and recognize me as the guy that wears black all the time. And I'm fine with that. It actually made them have something to initially connect, and they came and spoke to me. So if that's my identity, so be it. It's better than people knowing nothing about you. None of these steps are particularly difficult, but they could change your life. How you present yourself to the world is important, so stop playing life on hard mode. Implement a few of these tips and watch as the world starts to open up to you.